of gives you just a nice basic foundation to play your song. Okay, so I'm going to play verse 1 through a little bit so you can hear how it sounds when we add in the vocals, okay? And thank you for the cross, Lord. Thank you for the price you paid, bearing all my sin and shame. In love you came and gave amazing grace. Okay, do you see that nice marching rhythm? Just going together, right, together, right. Okay, so verse 2 is going to be almost identical there in to the first verse. The only thing is when you're starting out that verse 1, we just throw in that G to start you out. In verse 2, you'll notice that first G is missing. Okay, so make sure to grab that chord sheet in the description below so you can make sure that you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so when we see the chord in which the word or the syllable is written, you know, the chords are always above, that's when you know when to change that next chord. So you keep on going with that G until you see the word cross, Lord, and then back to the G, okay? So that kind of helps you understand how I write these chord sheets. I try to be pretty particular in making sure that the chord is written above the word or the syllable in which that next chord changes. Okay, sometimes you can anticipate it by just hearing it, but for the most part, I should have them pretty written down there for you. Okay, so let's go on to verse 2, and I'm going to slow it down a little bit. Thank you for this C chord here. Love, and then Lord, we're back to the G. Lord, thank you for the C chord. Nail, then pierced is D. Pierced, back to the G. Hands, washed me in your D. Cleansing flow, E minor. Remember, just open up this thumb. Flow now, all is D. All I know, C. Your for, A minor. Forgiveness, G. And embrace, D. Okay, let's go into that chorus. We go into the G. Worthy is the D chord, Lamb, A minor, seated, G, on the throne, C chord, throne, D, crown you now with G chord, many, C. You reign victorious, D. G chord coming up. High and lifted, D chord, up, A minor. Jesus, G chord, Son of God, C chord, God, D. The darling of heaven, G, crucified, into the D. Worthy is the A minor, Lamb. Worthy is the A minor, Lamb, G. And then it kind of goes up to that D, and where you can kind of swing back into that chorus if you want, or you can kind of just go back into the verses if you'd like. Okay, the vamp at the end is just kind of repeating that worthy is the Lamb over and over. You're just noticing it's A minor, G, C, A minor, G, D, A minor, G, D. So kind of notice some patterns in your music, like the verses are the same, your chorus is a little bit different, but just start to break it down into simple chunks. Just like a poem kind of has some repetition maybe in the first and the third line. Start to notice that in your music because it'll help take away some of that overwhelm when you notice how much repetition we have in the chords playing over and over and over, okay? And then the ending, you can go like this. The darling of heaven, G chord, crucified. Then we can go back to that worthy is the Lamb. Worthy is the Lamb. back to the beginning if you need a little help. Here we go.